So we are back once again.
Here we are, back again for episode 19, ladies and gentlemen.
Number 19.
The big 1-9.
We just keep banging them out.
Yeah, we just iron them out. We're like a stamping press at an old prison back in the 1970s.
As long as you keep watching, we keep putting them out for you.
That's right. That's right.
So that's how it goes. That's how it goes. So you know what? This just in.
Uh-oh.
I want to touch on something. I'm sure people are starting to hear about it now. Start to catch a little traction, as they call it.
Traction.
You're familiar with Chris D'Elia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we know about him.
Good comedian, actor, you know.
I mean, he's done some okay stuff.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
I wasn't a fan of his last special, if you ask me.
Nah. You know, he said dolphin too many times.
Yeah. So it was like word filler or some shit. But anyways, my man was catching some headlines. I don't know if you heard about this, but he's catching some heat, some serious heat.
I think he was catching more than headlines.
All right, trying to get some headlines. Headlines and head. No. Lined up head. No.
Oh.
So apparently this guy is under accusations. We don't know if they're true or not, but there's these accusations of him soliciting and what people are quote unquote putting in grooming underage girls for sexual activities and shit like that.
So these accusations, what is grooming? What does that mean?
That's a term they started using like when Epstein was going around, like something they like try to lure them into where they get to, you know, then they start then they get sexually abused once they like gain their trust of some sort or some shit.
Oh, that's fucked
Like if
up.
you've seen any of that Epstein shit, that's what they were talking about in that show.
I haven't watched all of it. I've only watched a few episodes. It was really creepy. But if that's the kind of shit that D'Elia's been accused of, that's fucked up.
That's kind of far, you know, so I don't really know. Like I said, we don't know if this is true, but we just want to touch on this because I was like, you know, we used to follow him. We do follow him. We follow a lot of his all his social medias, his videos.
Check
YouTube.
out his, we check out his YouTube every now and then. And by the way, people, these are just accusations.
Yeah, accumulations.
Yeah, these are not confounded.
They aren't factuals.
That's correct, Mundo.
But supposedly he was, I guess trying to do some things with some underage girls. And, you know, if that is true, that's not cool, man. Like, you know, this guy was on top. He had, like, the last maybe almost 3 years, my man was starting to get, like, to top-notch game.
Absolutely. You know, to be, last couple years, he's climbed the ladder. He's reached a lot of notoriety. A lot of people know who he is now. And to just, if it's true, to just piss it all away.
Yeah.
For some punani.
Yeah.
Some young punani at that. When there's plenty of punani in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s that you could just be grabbing up. You know, you could be grabbing it up like the claw machine at a vending, You
got to have some people around you, man, when you hit that kind of status, I guess, to, keep you away from that kind of temptation. Or, because, like, I guess there's like messages, there's screenshotted messages, there's all kinds of weird shit going on. So we don't really know, man, but all I got to say is it's kind of fucked up. And if it is true, I feel bad for a lot of the fans. I feel bad for a lot of the fans because
they're going to come.
It's kind of fucked up. That's all I got to say. I'm serious, but it is because all these guys like that support him. Like I followed him. I follow him on Instagram, so he's got like a lot of merchandise. He has this saying, "Life rips." And a lot of people got it tatted on them and shit. Like,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and
I
if
feel
that's
bad
the case,
for you
and
guys.
if this stuff really happens, like, I'm sure I wonder if his ass rips. Because if he goes to prison and you mess with a little kid, you don't want to be going there for that shit on your name.
So if these allegations are correct, maybe they end up pressing criminal charges, and he does go to prison.
Yeah.
Do you think his butthole will rip as much as his life?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Will it still rip?
Damn.
And then he talks about, wouldn't make a dent. Oh, motherfucker, your ass is gonna have some. Your ass will have some dents.
Some dents. Your ass is gonna have so many dents. It's gonna look like a fucking golf ball.
It's not looking good though, man, because people are starting to share some old episodes where you were kind of clowning on this type of topic, and it's kind of a little eerie now that these accusations have come out because you were just clowning on the shit, and then now these accusations come out at the same time as something that you claim not to be involved with, and now people are saying you were involved in more than one way or another.
Well, there's a whole episode, not a whole episode, but there's an episode where he talks for about a good 7-8 minutes about how does Hollywood have a child molestation issue?
That's wild.
And he really doesn't like deny it.
It was like a mockery.
Yeah, he just makes fun of it. The idea that people would think that Hollywood has a child sex ring issue. He kind of makes fun of it, but he really doesn't do anything to squash it.
That's wild. It's just crazy, man.
that you have the potential now to be a part of that. So there's a possibility that you were maybe defending what the sex ring that you may allegedly be involved in.
Yeah, something.
Allegedly.
Something crazy. But like I said, we don't know if it's true with his old looking ass. He look fucking, like I said, like he reminds me, he looks kind of like Bob Saget to me. It looks like if Bob Saget put a wig on and shit. That's probably why he grows out his beard and his hairs, because everybody be like, man, are you guys brothers? Because they look crazy alike. Like that was his old reject clone.
He's like a fit Bob Saget.
Yeah.
I guess he's gonna have to go back to pretending to be Bob Saget after this is over.
For sure. After they all got all this shit, he's gonna have to stay Bob Saget, can go back to Chris D'Elia because you guys are the same person. He's gonna be like, whatever happened to predictabilities? The milkman, the paperboy, the evening TV. You know?
You know what it's going to be? They're going to do a third Full House, and it's going to be Full House, the retirement years, and it'll be Chris D'Elia as Bob Saget.
Oh, there's going to be a Full House in his ass. He goes to prison. That's all I know. It'll be a Full House for sure.
Hey, do you think if he's in prison, he'll still be down for some silly goose times?
Oh my gosh, he'll be like, hey, yeah, that's what he's gonna say. And then when they put him in fucking, the population, when they put him in public population, they're gonna be like, oops, all up in that D'Elia Sunday,
so
getting all that D'Elia cup, that D'Elia fruit.
Somebody's just busting in his back door, just going, ooh.
There's going to be a guy in
so
prison.
Tight.
There's going to be this guy in prison behind him. They'll be like, oh, really? We heard that dolphins fuck people. We heard that dolphins fuck people. He's going to be like, look, bitch, I fuck people.
Damn.
Right behind D'Elia's ass.
Now, remember, these are just allegations.
They're just allegations.
Are just jokes. So
They're just jokes, man.
Yeah, we're just fucking around. But these allegations are real.
Yeah, okay? The allegations are real, but we don't know what's going to happen. We got to find out, let it play out.
So it's kind of...
But we thought we'd have fun with it a little bit.
I thought it was kind of really, really wild that these allegations come out while Brian Callen is having his eyelid surgery today.
Yeah.
So he's under the knife. All this hot garbage is coming out about Chris D'Elia.
Yeah.
And that's his boy.
Yeah, they're boys.
That's his boy, and he can't do nothing to
You know what I find crazy, and it's kind of weird feeling?
what's up?
Being from the streets. You know when something's going down.
Yeah.
Or when something's going down is when you're alone. Ain't no boys around him. All his little circle, all his little comedy circle, all them boys that are his friends, Bobby.
Right.
The Vaughns, the Schaubs, the fucking, all them boys, Callens. You don't see him right now. Ain't nobody talking about it right now. Ain't nobody posting no D'Elia Lives Matter or some shit, because I don't think it really matters. I think they are trying to separate themselves, which makes me a little suspect of what's happening.
It's possible. I mean, I haven't heard a peep out of anybody, and you would have thought that, kind of like how Theo Vaughn and him have a little mock rivalry.
Yeah, but they're
you
boys.
You would have thought that maybe he would have said something. Or Brendan Schaub, they have a little bit of a thing, a little bit of a friendly relationship, being fellow comedians and whatnot.
Right, they got a tight little circle like those, that group.
You would have thought maybe he would have dropped something on Twitter, Instagram, or something.
Yeah, to make it like not a situation. They could have clowned it or something.
Nothing.
Because comedians stick up for each other, man.
They do.
But for this weird reason, it just seemed like they just all step 3 steps in the opposite direction.
Yeah, they will. They'll try to stick up for each other. They try to protect each other. And I just, it's not looking good for him. I mean, even his circle is not saying shit.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder when that kind of shit happens, when you get isolated.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy looking if you ask me. Man, when he gets out, he's probably going to look like Bob Saget.
Damn.
He's going to have no more muscles, nothing. He's going to be all chubbed out.
But then again, you know what? He might get shredded in there while he's trying to get all the dents out of him.
Yeah, he's going to be getting dead. That's all I know. There's going to be a full house in that ass with your Bob Saget looking ass.
Mr. Crystal.
With your Bob Saget looking ass.
Looking like Bob Saget.
Yeah, like I said, we're doing this just for the comedy. I was telling you I was playing the new Modern Warfare.
Okay, yeah. I don't, you know me, I don't really play those games anymore.
I know, because you was telling me you started playing this PC game. Well, you've been playing this PC game.
I know the game you're going to talk about.
And so I'm just like, I never really got into some PC games, so I'm like, this is that one about space, right? That Kerbal Space Program, or what the fuck's it called? What the fuck's your game called again?
Kerbal
Kevlar,
Space.
gerbil,
Yeah, Kerbal Space Program.
gerbil in your space program. So that's what you're trying to tell me. This gerbil goes in your space, and there's a program to teach you how to
It
do it
goes in my inner
to
space.
reduce injury. It shows you how to do it. No, so this
So
Kerbal,
hold on.
Kevlar.
Yeah, sure, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so your Kevlar, Kerbal, gerbil space in your
Now,
place.
you want to know something crazy? I've been playing this game since 2014.
Okay,
I'm just
and
saying.
I'm just now bringing it up.
Yeah, I've been playing this game for a long time.
That's how current I am.
I've got over 1,000 hours in the game.
Jeez Louise. So this game, I never really, you tell me about it, but I was just like, okay, it's like a space type thing. So like, what are you doing? Building atmospheres and shit? Or like, what are you guys doing? You got to fucking terraform a place? Or what's going on here? Is there grocery stores? Do you guys have like black markets?
In a
like
way,
with fruit and animals?
In a way, you're kind of correct. So
You do make atmospheres?
It's not. No, we don't get to make atmospheres, but it's all uber nerdy.
I got a question though.
Okay.
How do you know when you're going to another planet, you can automatically breathe there?
So you have to do like the space program would do. You got to send a satellite, do some science in that atmosphere.
So it's like accurate, kind of like when as far as like exploration
A
goes?
little bit, yeah. It's got like a physics engine. You build rockets. You have to abide by the laws of aerodynamics, thermodynamics, gravity.
You're not that aerodynamic, so I'm glad it's a PC game. So I just know it would be better for you on the long run.
Well, listen, I have a very curved figure. I'm extremely aerodynamic.
There you go, and it rhymes almost with gerbil, Kerbal, sturble in your space program.
I love this game. I have been on and off playing this game for about 6 years now, and it's just a fantastic game. It just allows you to nerd the fuck out.
So like this black market, like where they sell like chips and shit. Like, can you get like intergalactic chips like from another place?
Like potato chips?
Yeah.
Negative.
Like, what's a space potato look like?
So you have to actually set up like space stations
Uh-huh.
or a ground station, and you'll have like a greenhouse to grow food, so that your Kerbals.
So
that's what they call 'em.
is it like Midnight Gospel too? Like, can you take souvenirs from places? Like how he takes all them like space Jordans?
No, you know they really don't have any life forms on the other planets. Unfortunately, hopefully in Kerbal Space Program 2, they're gonna get like a whole it's gonna be all upgraded, and you're gonna get more of that.
It'll be a new lube for the gerbil in your space program.
I'll tell you this: unless you're an uber rocket nerd, this game is super boring.
Gotcha.
You got to be really into just building stuff.
I think you could just be nerdy and like it though. Like you can just like it if you like those kind of games.
If you like to build stuff, and if you like to like handle a little bit of math and do a little bit of thinking, you'll like the game. But if you're into it to like find other alien species or like terraform a planet, there are other games for that. This is not the game.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I thought I would take my shot and try to give my own version of what I thought your game would be.
That's cool.
Like strip clubs and alien strippers and all that kind of stuff.
I do have a space station that has a stripper pole on it.
Interesting.
And you can use the stripper pole in space.
So that's where you guys like clean the space potatoes.
That's right. That's right.
Because it's like they grow potatoes. They're trying to do that in Mars. Like they copied off that movie. So it's like they're just be growing potatoes everywhere. That's why I brought the space potatoes up.
You know, I gotta say right here, I hope the fuck it's not just potatoes. I like French fries and I like baked potatoes and mashed potatoes, but if you had to eat that,
you know what's fucked up is like
forever.
Yeah, and like the early astronauts, they lucked out. They got to have tang and like Ovaltine, and like these guys, we get potatoes.
I'm gonna kill a motherfucker to eat their arm.
What's up with that, Idaho?
Just so that I don't have to eat another potato.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I hope they grow some other stuff. Maybe some collard greens. Maybe
I could agree with, I could go down with some greens, but I don't know, man. That's what's hard to do. It's like one of the easiest ones to grow.
Yeah.
With minimal UV. And,
all right. What about some radishes? I mean, I don't like radishes, but whatever.
It's not the same.
Something different.
It's got to be a potato. It's got to be a tater. You got no choice. It's got to be a tater. You go into space, pack your mashed potatoes.
I feel bad for these astronauts.
Especially, like, I'd be afraid to be an astronaut now that they got those weird kinky dudes like we saw, strapping you down. I'd be afraid like they're trying to cop a feel on me before I go to space.
They're all like, let me make sure your crotch belt's buckled up. Like,
do you have any weapons? They're like, what is this? What is this out here? What is this? I'm like, what
That's my Johnson, dude.
Excuse me?
Can you tuck it back?
Excuse me?
I like it tucked back before I get launched into space.
I was reading some headlines, and this headline actually got me pretty upset.
Uh-oh.
This one kind of touched a little too close to home.
Did this one tickle your pickle?
This one got me pissed off. This one made me do one of those old school things like we did in our earlier segments of our episodes when we didn't have this equipment. Like we would sit there and be like, hold up.
Oh, shit.
It's a hold up moment. So like,
Hold up.
recently I discovered that they decided to disarm one of my favorite cartoon characters I grew up watching as a kid, man. Elmer Fudd,
Oh,
1.
yes.
And then 1A, you can't get number 2. Like, that's a 1A. That's like 1 and 1A.
Yeah.
Like 2 A's. And Yosemite
Sam.
Can't even believe this.
Listen, this is the America we live in. I don't understand it. I think it's horrible. If you're afraid of cartoon guns and cartoon bullets, then just draw yourself a cartoon force field and there you go. You're protected.
It's crazy, man. I told you before, like in, excuse me again. I told you before, like in earlier episodes, man, this is turning in, they're trying to make us like Demolition Man. They're taking all like the violence out. They're going to be like guns in museums.
America was founded on violence, okay? We are a violent people. We don't like to show sex on TV. We like to show violence and as much violence as possible. I grew up watching the TV show The Highlander. That was a great TV show. They cut somebody's head off in every single episode. Fantastic. And then somebody absorbed lightning bolts. It was great.
And these guys were like, what's Elmer Fudd going to do if he can't hunt? He always told you to be very quiet because he's hunting wabbits.
Yeah, he's hunting wabbits.
Now what's he going to do?
Quiet. Well, I guess he's going to have to get a taser.
He's like, now I'm hanging out with rabbits.
You know, I guess he's going to have to go full Rambo and just get that Bowie knife out and just do some rabbit stabbing.
It's messed up, man. It's messed up. This is like an atrocity.
What about Yosemite Sam? He used to do that little thing where he gets so mad he just starts shooting his guns in the air and then he'd shoot him at the ground and it kind of like make him jump.
Yeah, he'd be like that. I'm the rootinest, tootinest, and blah, blah, blah. Like he'd be cursing and cartoon cursing.
Yeah. And, okay.
You ever notice how you can't spell a cartoon curse word?
What do you mean?
Like when they always they're like got symbols and weird shit in there, or it's just not weird words. Like I'm gonna spell rootinest, tootinest.
Oh yeah.
You know, like stuff like that.
That's also a way of expanding your vocabulary.
It's crazy. I wonder if those words are in the dictionary. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you remember Ricochet Rabbit?
Nope.
Ricochet Rabbit was on that show with Quick Draw McGraw and Bubba Louie, the little donkey, and then Quick Draw was the big horse.
I think I remember Quick Draw McGraw.
Yeah, he would play. He had an alter ego named El Kabong, and he would hit people with a guitar.
El Kabong?
El Kabong. Yeah, he would swing in. He had like a little black mask on, just covering his eyes.
I wonder if that's going to be some people's new bong name after this.
And then he had a cape on, and he'd come in, and he'd swing in, and he'd go, El Kabong! And then he'd lift up the guitar, and he'd hit him on the head and go, Kabong! That was his alter ego. But anyway, my point was there was this other character named Ricochet Rabbit, and he pretended, because he was a rabbit, he was so fast he was like a bullet, and he could go so fast he would ricochet around like a bullet. Are they going to take away that power from Ricochet Rabbit?
What about like all the animated like Clone Wars and Batman that's on TV?
Yep.
And, like all them kind of shit that's on TV.
Yep. What about all that?
What's going to happen to the Cartoon Network?
I mean, there are so many cartoon characters with guns. Cartoon characters are just as armed as America. Because America, we're armed. So we armed our cartoon characters. They need to be able to defend themselves, just like we can defend ourselves.
Even their constitution ain't safe.
Yeah, no kidding.
Damn it.
And the problem is their constitution was written with crayons. So, that shit washes away. Somebody rewrote it.
It was like number 2 ink.
Yeah.
Or number 6 ink.
But how are you going to take Elmer Fudd's guns away? What is he going to do now?
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to go hang out with wabbits.
Can he take up bow hunting?
He's like, word on the street is, I can't hunt for wabbits anymore. I don't really sound like him, but I was just trying to talk like him.
I say we start a GoFundMe page, and we all buy Elmer Fudd an AR-15, and we give him a lifetime supply of ammunition.
Or what if they switch it to squirt guns or something? I mean, he can't hunt. Like, how? He's a hunter.
Yeah, exactly. He's a hunter.
He's a hunter, man.
What about Marvin the Martian? He's got a laser gun.
Don't even bring him up, man. You might be fucking giving them ideas, man. They're going to go through the whole cartoon roster.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Start knocking dudes off. They're all going to be losing voice jobs.
So, okay, now, wait a minute. Now, is Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny. Is that Disney?
They're Warner Brothers.
Warner
Yeah,
Brothers.
that's who made the call. Was
Okay.
Warner Brothers.
So Warner Brothers, don't they own Batman, the series, the cartoon?
Yep,
Are they going to take all the guns out of that?
probably. That's what I'm saying. Like all them cool shows, Clone Wars, Batman, all them kind of cool shows. Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z.
I don't think there were any guns in Pokemon. Maybe, I don't know.
But there's violence.
Yeah,
Like, what
there's
if they're
violence.
coming at them?
Warner Brothers, get on the right page
You
here.
ever see how bad the damage is when fucking Goku powers up and just hits somebody?
Oh man, but that's anime. Thank
Sometimes
God.
you ain't even gotta touch them.
You know, the anime, that's Japanese anime. They can't mess with that. You know, Warner Brothers, I don't think owns Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, or there's another one. I think there's another one after that, but whatever. I think there's 4 Dragon Ball Zs. I could be wrong. I stopped watching after Dragon Ball Z. I watched all of Dragon Ball. I watched all of Dragon Ball Z, and then that's where I stopped watching.
All right.
I got, I grew up and I watched other animes.
In other words, that sucks that they fucking taking weapons away from 2 iconic cartoon characters.
Yeah, you can't be doing Warner Brothers. Stop with your bullshit. You know, if you want to keep doing this, join Antifa or something. Quilt yourself a sweater. Try to learn how to grow a farm.
What is this? The new what is it? New rebel clan? They're gonna call them the Carntifa for cartoon attackers.
Oh my God!
Cartoon Nifa.
Get out of here with that stuff.
Sick of that shit. Leave our cartoons alone.
Yeah, leave my cartoons alone. Gosh darn
And my
it!
cereal trying to change the toucan bird.
What did they try to do to Toucan Bird?
They changed his beak, man. They fucking changed the color of his beak. It's like a weird rainbow and shit. It's weird.
Wasn't it always a rainbow?
It was always striped, but now it's this like weird, like tie-dye looking shit.
Okay, I have not noticed this.
And his eyes look like anime. Like it looks like weird as fuck. Like his eyes look like Pac-Man. 2 black Pac-Mans, and he's got a weird like tie-dye design on his beak.
Okay, I am not excited about this. This sounds really bad.
It looked like somebody like young or didn't know how to draw that good drew him.
Oh wow, so we got some shitty artists. Well, it's probably somebody from that Seattle block party they got going on, because they don't even know how to make a farm. So it's probably one of them people drawing the toucan sandbird, because they obviously can't draw.
It was probably made on your Kepler Space Plower game.
Switching it up.
I got some strange headlines. I found a weird I was reading the news, man. I found some weird shit again.
Oh man.
Here I am again with something about science that
What?
I don't exactly know exactly what I'm talking about, but I just can repeat what I read.
Hold on a second. What newspaper do you get all these from?
Newspaper?
You said you read it out of headline.
No, I'm just kidding. I looked through like New York Post, whatever, Free Press, whatever, Science Journal.
The Huffington Post, the Wall Street Journal.
And whatever, see, like, I don't know, I'll just click through a bunch of them and see what kind of articles catch my eye. And
I got you.
I saw this guy, these scientists were discovering, they found a big animal.
A large animal.
And they were digging in again.
Digging in the ground again.
And they found a big remains of a ancestor of an anchovy.
What?
And it wasn't no regular anchovy. I mean, I guess it was back then at that time. This anchovy was like 36 inches or more, and it had teeth like a saber-toothed tiger, like a saber-toothed fucking anchovy.
It's 36 inches. Now you're talking about my waistline.
Ouch.
So what you're telling me here is, first of all, they found it on land. Is that what you're saying?
They found an animal, like an old animal. I think they found him in the ground, like digging in the ground.
And this is how big is an anchovy normally? What, about 3-4 inches?
I don't know, because like I see them on pizzas and shit, and some of them look like small, like really small. So I don't know.
Maybe 1 to 2 inches. And you're talking 3 feet, a 3-foot anchovy.
Yeah, like fucking talking super anchovy.
So you ain't
wouldn't be holding the anchovies; they'd be holding you.
That's what I'm saying. You're not putting this on pizza. Anchovy's not gonna come on your pizza.
We didn't land on anchovy. Anchovy landed on us. That's how big it was.
Damn. Sounds like a cross between a barracuda.
King Kong ain't got nothing on these anchovies.
Oh, your Textanican's coming out. I heard a little Textanican.
That was Training Day. That was like Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I know, but it sounded like Textanican doing Denzel Washington doing Training Day.
I would do a killer. Textanican would nail Denzel Washington. Not sexually either. The impersonation.
Maybe sexually. You never know.
You never know.
I know some people who like anchovies on their pizza, and I wonder if they would be willing to have a giant prehistoric anchovy on their pizza?
I don't know. But either way, like big fish are still scary. Like we went kayaking the other day with my brother, and these guys were talking about catching muskies and shit and how big
Oh
those
yeah,
fish can get
they
in
get
our
real
little.
big.
And they're talking about we pulled them out these little canals and they're like bigger than this kayak, and they're like and this snapping foals. Like man, could you imagine just be chilling, and that thing just want to come thinking it's a bite and it's gonna come take a bite and it's just that big ass
Oh
fish.
man,
And it's not one of them biting fish. It's like one of them big swallow fish. Like that'd be crazy.
that would be scary. You know, it's like catfish. Catfish get real big too.
Yeah.
They get real heavy.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know if you ever had like a big fish, like you've been kayaking. I don't know how long you've been doing it yet, but I've had like a big fish hit the bottom of my kayak, and
Dang.
that's scary. It's a little scary because you're like, what sea creature? Am I in the water with leviathans right now?
Right.
Who brought the First Testament with them?
The Loch Ness is coming.
The First Testament. I meant the Old
You
Testament.
got jaws in the lake.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it's a little bit scary. You could be out there kayaking, and you feel a little bump, and then you look back and you're like, well, there ain't no log there, so that had to have been a giant fish. And then you'll see it float up next to you. You're like, whoa, get out of here. Get out of here, Shamu.
Shamu. Look how like politely you shooed the whale. You were like, get out of here, Mr.
Like,
Shamu.
I put my purse down, and I was like, Shamu, you need to shove off.
Yeah, something happened.
This is my kayaking zone.
It was something weird.
Yeah.
There was some sensitivity. I felt it.
You know.
There was some tenderness.
I
the
gave
sea
it.
creatures.
I gave it a little TLC. Rubbed on its blowhole a little bit, and it just took off into the sunset.
Man,
Oh,
speaking of riding off into the sunset,
yeah.
when things get crazy and people get in the mood and get on that pillow talk, I think they got to have some new kind of inventions. But like I said, when we go to space, sometimes they come back with new inventions. Well, people should better start thinking about shit because I got one right now.
Uh-oh.
I got one for y'all, an exclusive.
Exclusivo.
Another one made here on Meant Event
All right.
by
Trademark and copyrighted.
At the Real Heim One and One Take Wheel.
Here we go.
Motherfuckers.
Cha-ching.
So we're talking about what are they going to be doing? Some new innovations. So I got one here for you. Here I go again.
Okay.
And I'm thinking of a new lubricant.
Oh, yes.
And I'm thinking creativity. I'm
Creativity?
I'm thinking creatively. Creatively.
Yeah.
Creatively.
Creatively.
Yeah, creatively. We were thinking creatively about this idea.
On that creativity.
Yeah, and we were thinking economy, size, storage, and price.
All of that just like rolled into one.
Meaning, if you're on the go, you feeling in the mood. Maybe you're solo, maybe you're not solo, but you're in the mood. You got to get something done. Something has to be done. There needs to be a release, as you would say.
And we're gonna call it the Q-tip pocket lube because it's on the go. It's ready whenever you are.
So this thing will be very easy to reach and very accessible, and it's this small thing which would lubricate you in places of need. But it's like a pool cue. So all you got to do is the tip. You put it on a tip like you would do, like hooking up your pool stick.
Yeah, like you were chalking your pool cue, but you chalk the tip of your Johnson with it.
And then to activate it, it's activated by CO2. So what you do is you lean down and you give it a little.
That activates the nano lubricant because it's nano lubricant technology.
New nano lube shit.
Yeah, and then it automatically, when you give it that little, it just spreads all the way down your whale tail.
New nano lube. Nano lube. We're talking science.
And you're just ready to go. And because it's nano lube,
yeah,
you can get extra strokes out of it without having to re-lubricate.
You know what we're talking about.
It's better than a 0W20 if you're into that kind of thing.
Whoa. And whoever's going to make that, we got to team up. We brought the idea. Y'all can make it happen. You know where it started. It's right here.
It starts as a chalky, powdery substance, but then it just turns into an ultra viscous lubrication.
Mucus-like.
Very much so. Like deep back in the behind the cockles mucusation.
The shocking cockles. Like areas you shouldn't be. And that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
It's where it's most potent.
Like it's almost better than areola sweat. because these boots are made for walking.
Who sings that?
I think that's Patsy Cline.
Nope. I think it was Frank Sinatra's daughter.
Anyway, what do you got for time travel?
Okay, so I
I
got
mean,
some.
do you want me to Google it? Because I'll Google it right now.
You mean Justin Googly?
Yeah, Justin, Google it.
You don't want to be late, so Justin Googly it.
So, do you remember in Star Trek the Borg, a species called the Borg?
Not really.
Okay, the Borg are biological and they meld themselves with what they call the synthetic or like electronics and mechanical components.
Okay.
They're basically like cyborgs. So maybe that's kind of like the direction. Well, we're already there. If you've got a hearing aid, if you've got a pacemaker, if you're on dialysis, anything. If you've got a stent in your heart to keep if you've got whatever, you're a fucking cyborg.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's just getting more and more and more. Dude, we're going to be downloading our brains into whole different bodies eventually.
Yep.
It's going to get to that point.
Even like all the new prosthetic replacements are phenomenal with the new technology they have. They're like so functional. It's unreal. It's almost like a robot or cyborg.
I want to make a prediction right here. So, do you know what a petabyte is?
No.
A petabyte
Please let me know what that is.
1,000 terabytes. So you know how big a terabyte is, right?
I know my mother-in-law's dog is a petabyte. That petabyte.
So I'm sure there's a measurement larger than petabytes. So you got gigabytes. 1,000 gigabytes is a terabyte. 1,000 terabytes is a petabyte. And these aren't exact numbers. There's an actual computer number, but these are basic reference numbers.
Okay.
Now I don't know what's bigger than a petabyte, but I imagine if you'd had to download a human brain, let's just take somebody who's 45 years old and wants a new body, and all the stuff they've gathered throughout their life. I'm thinking the amount of data is greater than 1,000 petabytes. I'm thinking it's more than 100,000 petabytes.
Yeah, it wouldn't. None of that stuff would be able to contain even a fraction of it, because the things that happen on a cellular level alone in the brain is like immeasurable.
Yeah, I guess they were doing experiments with. I watched a documentary about this a few years back. They were doing experiments with DNA and using DNA to store information, like a flash drive, basically. And the amount of information they could store in one strand of DNA blew my mind. It was like a terabyte in a strand of DNA. I was just like, whoa. It was wild how much they could store in one strand of DNA. You got to figure, strand of DNA's fucking tiny.
Yeah.
You can't fathom how small it is. Your brain can't comprehend how small a strand of DNA is.
No way.
It's bananas.
It'll be right there, and we wouldn't even know. It's there now.
Yeah, you wouldn't
There's
even know.
something there now.
And you could store the entire like freaking U.S. What is that? What is that library we have? The Congressional Library or something like that. Isn't that what it's called?
Possibly.
Library of Congress, maybe.
I don't know.
Whatever. It's a huge ass library in Washington. You could probably store all of that shit.
You can Google it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Google that googly-gock. But you could store all that shit in probably like 2 strands of DNA.
Nice.
And then you would lose the DNA and lose all the information.
That would suck.
And it would be gone forever.
Some people even say, like, on that kind of DNA shit, that's what, like, Noah's Ark was like. Those conspiracies was Noah's Ark was a spaceship or some sort of vessel, not a fucking boat. And it was storing DNA, like, of all the animals. And he was more of a scientist and, was more break it down like science version. He was more of a scientist, bringing these species to the new land of Earth.
I mean, kind of doesn't that make a little bit more sense that it's just it's a story, a biblical story that maybe is more connected to like some kind of alien connection to where
just like an advanced civilization, because
or advanced civilization, because we didn't. If you look at those times, nobody was building boats that big. Nobody was building a boat so damn big that you could take 2 of everything with you.
Like all these people out there now should try to even do that math. What size you would actually need to carry 2 of every species inside one vessel.
I guarantee you it's bigger than 5 oil rig or freighters. You know, the things that carry oil. I guarantee you it's got to be bigger than 5 of those.
Not to mention the danger that you're assessing to every other species out there that's non-predators living with the predatory species in this environment.
Absolutely. Plus, you got to set up specialized environments for some of these creatures. The reptilians, the what's a frog? What's amphibians? All the different types of life forms have different environments. You can't just house them in one place and set up some straw mats and say, there you go, that's where you live at.
Look what happens when we get cramped up in a crowd.
That's what I'm saying.
Shoot.
I'm ready to vent when I get in a crowd.
You get a wild animals all bunched up.
That's what I'm talking about.
You raise the ruckus in there.
It's I don't know. It would make a lot more sense that maybe Noah went around and maybe he collected DNA of all the different animals and then used that to repopulate.
Right. And I don't mean no disrespect to anybody's religion or anything, because I'm Catholic myself. I'm entertained by the idea of all these theories.
Right. Yeah, we're not saying that this is reality.
And I appreciate like everybody's effort and work they do to they put together to put these theories out there, because I enjoy reading them all. Like,
it's definitely I get into the conspiracy stuff the same reason you do. It is way more entertaining than watching the same sitcom replay the same scenarios. Like every sitcom has the same episode from one sitcom to the next. Basically, it's like you're rinse and repeat. Oh, there's a new sitcom. Oh, I've seen this episode. This happened on this show here about 5 years ago.
And then you know what else is cool about that is like you have so many more channels.
Oh yeah.
You know, you could just like, I want to see something about this. I want to see something about this, and it's like just thousands of options.
The conspiracy wormhole is infinite.
It's great. Like I said, I appreciate everybody's
entertainment.
Work.
I love
you put
guys.
that out there. You guys are great, man. You guys put in some work.
You guys do some good work. Keep it up. Don't let nobody stop you.
I love watching that stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I thought I would bring back the element of our episode title of This Just In and bring you some This Just In headlines of myself.
Okay.
So I might switch on and off to that Skip Wankman voice. You never know what might happen.
Uh-oh.
This Just In. What the fuck kind of world are we living in today, Mr. Will?
Man, I don't know. I don't like it. Can we please just let me just say this. Stop the planet, because I'd like to get off.
If I could find the emergency brake for you, I'd pull the fuck out of it, because this is kind of fucked up, man. Like, are we all grounded right now? Like,
I mean,
why we got all these restrictions?
Why do we have not just restrictions? Why do we got all this other dumb nonsense? Aunt Jemima, Elmer Fudd. What's next? Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog can't like Miss Piggy. We can't have an interracial couple here.
Yeah, stuff's about to get crazy.
Wait, that's not interracial. Interspecial.
They're gonna start sorting. They're gonna start sorting farm animals by colors next.
Yeah, you're green, she's pink. Y'all can't be together.
See that spotted pig? We gotta put him with the other spotted pigs, but the colors better match, or else they can't be around that pig either.
Are they gonna take the drumsticks away from animal?
No diversity. Everybody's gonna get bleached.
I don't like it. I mean, we got rioting going on where people are taking over whole towns. Not whole towns. They got 9 blocks they've taken over in Seattle. And the mayor's calling it a block party. Oh, yeah, they all right. They just having that block party. They're just celebrating the year of love.
Well, that's because that guy was probably like a partier back in the day, and he was part of like he supported like the girls going wild. Now he's like, my city's going wild. So he's just like a supporting it all. Like, let's do it.
Except they've all got guns and there's no titties being popped out.
As soon as the cameras turned, he just funneled the beer.
Right. He's just bonging beers like it's
the police
nothing.
Commissioner, like, come on.
And then the Chaz Zone. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. It's not called the Chaz Zone anymore. It's called the Chop Zone, CHOP.
I'll tell you what, I knew about the Chop Zone back in my hood, and that was where we took the cars that was stolen to get chopped up, and it wasn't called the Chop Shop. It was the Chop Zone.
Well, this isn't the same kind of Chop Zone.
You can't be stealing shit that was already taken.
This is
government.
A bunch of
get your own names.
Pansy-ass people who... have you seen
this? Just in, get your own names.
Right,
we don't already had it.
Have you seen anything about what they're doing over here?
No, I ain't paying attention to that shit.
Okay, you should be, because here's why. You know how to grow a garden. I know how to plant some shit in the ground and make it grow. These guys planted a garden expecting to grow food.
Uh-huh.
They're like, oh, we're going to occupy this zone here, but we're going to need some food. So let's plant
Like
some.
potatoes?
Yeah, they planted all kinds of different
With the
stuff.
quality of potatoes.
So some of the plants, it looked like they planted. They didn't even take them out of those little plastic containers. They just
Oh,
put it on
Lord.
the dirt.
Oh, Lord.
And I think they think that they're going to eat tomorrow because they were just like, oh, yeah, we're going to get some food in the next 48 hours. No, the fuck you ain't. You're going to get some food in the next 4 to 6 months.
Y'all better get some slingshots and hit some birds or something.
Because, yeah, that ain't how it works. And then it looked, if you watch the pictures, it looked like they put newspaper on the ground first, and then they just covered it with topsoil, and then they just put the plants on top of that without actually putting them in the dirt. And it looks like the most random assortments. You know how you make
So
lines?
are they...
You make lines in rows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they didn't do that. They're just like, we'll put one here and one there and one there. It's the most random, asinine thing ever. It just shows you that...
You know what they did? They set that garden up like a Facebook post. Just
Damn.
random shit everywhere. Just
Damn.
random shit every fucking where like Facebook.
It just goes to show you, anybody born between the ages of 1995...
And sometime when your mother was born.
Exactly. Don't know how to do shit. Y'all can't do shit.
Nada.
Fuck. I mean, learn a skill. Learn to sew. Change a tire.
Pay attention.
Do something. Get your life together.
Fudge. Fudge sickles.
Yeah, fudge on a fudge cracker.
So, this just in. Ghosts are scary as hell.
Absolutely.
I found myself watching some of those scary videos. They say, don't watch these in the dark. And don't watch these alone. I watched them in the dark and alone. And you know what? Put some headphones on. Those things will kind of get to you. Not the short videos. Those ones ain't that bad. But them long ones, man, where you start to get adjusted.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And like you start acclimating to the sound of that fucking video. And man, that'll get you. Man, those are pretty creepy.
It'll get you, man. Have you ever played like a horror game with headphones on?
Hey, this just
in the dark?
This just in. Surround sound ain't no motherfucking joke.
Try playing yourself one of them scary video games in the dark with some headphones on. You will piss yourself. Especially,
like the VR ones too, man?
Yeah. Well, I've never tried one of the VR ones, but I'm just talking about just having like your TV. You got headphones on.
Yeah.
You're playing with the controller in here.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden your wife comes up to you and she's like, honey. And you're like, ah!
I'd have been like, yeah.
Yeah.
Only because I said yeah so much.
I have scared myself. Been like, the dog will walk by the doorway, and I'll turn like...
Yeah, man, that's crazy when that happens. And it happens quick, dude, once you get acclimated to that sound.
It'll scare the shit out of you.
You can be in that zone, and it's just going to be happening.
But you know what? There's a little bit of thrill with it. It's almost like that thrill of like jumping out of an airplane or crossing the street when you know that car's coming real fast. You're like, I can make it.
Yeah,
you know
I think I can do it.
That little adrenaline.
You get that Frogger mentality.
Yeah.
But no free life.
Yeah. You know, it's
so
that,
you better make it to that
you
log.
get that little adrenaline,
pad.
that little adrenaline rush, and you kind of you get addicted to it. I know a lot of friends who love to play them horror games. I can't do it. I'm too much of a pussy. I can't. I play a little bit, and then I got to turn it off.
I'm not good at them, but they're fun. They're pretty wild.
They get scary. It gets too scary for me. I might start to cry or something like that.
Man, this just in. Are aliens the next fucking big threat?
Yes, they fucking are.
I kind of feel like there's nothing else left. They had They had people changing genders. They had reality stars becoming world leaders. They had crazy ass weather. We had crazy ass attacks. We had crazy ass. The world just decided just to shut everything off one day. They just grabbed the valve with the faucet and they were just like, look, real quick. They didn't pay the water bill, so they just like shut everybody's shit off. It was just bananas. Everybody had to put water in the cereal. You couldn't get toilet paper. Stuff was wild. This 2020 shit has just been bananas since the beginning.
It's been off the chain.
This 2020 has been super funny if you ask me.
And you talk about wild weather. Okay, we're only midway through June, and we've barely gotten any rain in June.
This just in. Summer's pretty fucking weird.
Summer's real fucking weird. It's already dry. I don't understand. We just had a hurricane, okay? And usually that shit matriculates north, and we'll get a lot of bad weather. And it just kind of just It fizzled out by the time it
Right.
got to us.
This just in. It rained so much also that we have such crazy high water levels before all this stuff happened.
Well, that
and
was
stuff is just bananas.
That was in May, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just
we
had
got-
like monsoon. Like we just turned into a rainforest.
And now it's nothing.
It almost looked like Mother Nature's taking Earth back. Over by like all the shores, water is high as hell.
My grass is drying up. I need
Yeah,
some
grass
rain.
and lawns. But man, we was at the kayak shit.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm
the
launching
water's
from
high.
the parking lot. I'm literally launching over parking bumps in my kayak.
Oh, it's awesome if you're kayaking or for tubing right
And
now. 'cause-
fishing.
Or for fishing because the river levels are high.
This just in. Fishing's been great.
Yeah, I haven't done any fishing yet, but I plan on doing some physician.
Physician?
Yeah.
You're getting your PhD? You going to medical school?
Yeah, boy.
You getting your physician? You got a doctor's appointment? You sick? You ain't telling me? Something I don't know? You having a baby?
I got that.
You pregnant?
I got that Rovid 22.
Dang.
That's that new Rovid.
That's crazy bananas.
Yeah. What it does is it makes you dance the hokey pokey.
I would like to thank y'all for joining us on this episode. And if you guys like what you are watching, like me and him, we appreciate you guys. So we appreciate if you guys give us a like and a subscribe. Any of you new viewers, and we appreciate all the subscribers we have now.
And if you don't like what you're watching, go out and find some people who might like it and show it to them, because we would appreciate that as well.
But yeah, so we appreciate everything you guys are doing. We're having a blast doing this.
I love it.
We're glad you guys are here growing with us because, like I said, we're having a great time.
We're trying to do this twice a week now, and I'm excited to do it twice a week now. It's just like it'll be 2 highlights in my week now.
So we got some interesting new stuff coming. Just to let you guys know, a couple little spoilers ahead. We're gonna have a reoccurring segment coming soon. It's gonna be our West Coast weather report.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna have somebody call in and give us the weather from the West Coast.
From the West Coast. So it's gonna be real interesting. Y'all stay tuned. It's coming soon. And also another little heads up on episode 20, we're bringing our next conspirasode.
It's gonna be the Conspirasode Revisited.
So it'll be another conspirasode. We'll have all new type of conspiracies to talk about, and you guys will probably have a blast. And we hope you enjoy it because, like I said, we are, and we're having a blast. So this has been another episode of
Meant
to
Vent.
and we're out of here.
We out of here. Bye.
See y'all.
Live long and prosper.